Drinking it.
Weren't you supposed to make 15 trades by now?
Yeah, I know. I know. Keeping you guys excited.
Well, day 2. How you feel?
I feel good. It was a big day for us. We met last night after we got back to the hotel and as a staff and decompressed a little on how last night went, and then quickly turned our attention to today. We had a plan, and obviously the work was done, as I mentioned yesterday, for a long time going into the draft. And then as you get on later into the rounds, me personally, what I'm looking for is passion from our area scouts, attributes that, maybe there's something that really jumps off that they could, turn into an NHL player. And we think we found that. We're excited, and we like Sweden.
Did you prioritize a goalie on day 2?
Well, yeah. So Lance, our plan all along going into this draft was to draft a goalie. What I wanted to just see how it played out is where and when. As it played out this morning, and we got to pick 41, we felt strongly that this was the time to make it. Really feel that there's a huge upside with our goalie there. He's a big kid, really showing signs of being, a high-level goaltender that's going to take time to develop. But, it's good to have options, and you want depth in net. And that's why I said for all along it was in our plans to draft a goalie this year.
Kevin, is there anything to read into that with Derek Bertol?
No. I mean, it's just, it's a goaltending position. You want to make sure, you guys hear me talk about pipeline all the time. You want to make sure you have pipeline, you have flexibility and options moving forward. And when you're drafting young goaltenders, there's a long path, so for us, that's just normal to part of our process.
What did you think of, he was the one guy we talked to, and he's got a good family background. He's going to be in the Memorial Cup next year. What was your thought?
Well, that's, I'm sure most people say this, but we were pretty surprised that we were able to get him where we did. We see a really smart, talented player, poised, little bit undersized right now, but honestly, like good pedigree and really, really high character. Just a really nice hockey player. So I think he's another kid that we want to just let him develop and take our time there. But where we got him, we're pretty excited.
With 11 picks, 2 defensemen. How much did your depth chart in the NHL and what you have there, and those guys being longer term, maybe play into, or were you just following your list?
Mostly, following our list. I think you have to be careful of that, but I think I said this last night. You look at the 60 on our roster right now; they're young, so you do project out. These are defensemen that we really believe in, and we want to build out moving forward. So you think about it, but it's just kind of how it falls. We want to be disciplined. We want to make the right decision based on the work that's done. But the defenseman we drafted, we felt strongly about, and that's why we took him.
I'm going to say his name wrong. The Russian.
Yeah, you might say it better than me, but I know what you're talking about.
What can you tell us about him? He has a ton of shots. Just what can you tell us about him?
Yeah, we see a high talent, big upside type of player. There's a lot to be excited about with him in terms of potential. Similar to some of the stuff we talked about last year. We know that there's a path that takes a while sometimes, but for us, and I talked to you guys about this before, is value. If there was a player that we felt in a spot that was high value, we were going to make the pick, and that's what we did.
Kevin, do you anticipate getting into the goalie market now for your NHL team, not just the football?
Yeah, I think as we've gone through the off season, we have a plan. We're going to stick to our plan. Obviously, you can get emotional, or you can make quick decisions. And I don't think that's how we want to run our business. I think we want to be disciplined with what we do. I think we want to be intentional in how we do things. We want to have players that want to be here for the right reasons. That's why drafting's so important. You draft hockey players that you believe in, and then you develop those players, you retain those players, and that's how you build it out moving forward. Now we'll, as we get into the next phase of this offseason, we'll look at all options, which we'll continue to do right through. But feel good about where we're at.
Do you think the teams are getting a little jittery in the goalie market today?
I don't want to speak for other teams, but I think it's natural, right? Just to have that feeling. But I really believe in being disciplined and being patient and making sure that you calmly follow your plan. And, that's the work we've been doing that all along, having these conversations internally and options and prioritizing. So for me, it's just to make sure you stick to what you're focused on and not get caught up in emotion or making a decision that maybe you would regret down the road.
How tough is that, though? Because you clearly need one, it would appear.
Well, I mean, I think I believe in the process we've gone through and will continue to go through. I believe in the people around me every day that I talk to and on our staff and how we're doing things. Craig Anderson, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again, it was a critical piece for me to get him back with our group, not just for how he performs on the ice, but what he does every day in the locker room. We feel comfortable with where he's at from a health standpoint, but we're gonna continue to look at every single scenario, evaluate it, and do what we think is right.
How do you feel about what's left out there at goalie today when you look at kind of your list and the dust is settled here?
I think I look at it like you have to have a plan and you have to have a priority list. So you go through all those things. I've had a lot of discussions with teams about different options, things that we think about, and then you kind of go through that list and check it off, and maybe some conversations pick up a little bit more, some go away. So, we've had that, we'll continue to have that, and we'll look at, we know there's options available also if we decide to go that route potentially. So, but what we won't do is panic. We will do what we believe is right for this organization from the short and long term, and we'll be patient and calm, and we'll do the right thing.
Now that you said you might have more information on Johnson, you talked to his advisors about what came out.
Yeah, so met with them yesterday, and he's going to come to development camp, and then we agreed to kind of circle up right after development camp and just to have the next discussion. Does that mean he makes a step and turns pro potentially, or goes back to school? But we decided to spend a little time during development camp together, and then we'll see from there.
What about Marcelo?
Well, the plan is for Eric to be at camp as well. He has indicated, things could always change, but he's indicated all along since we first opened discussions that his preference is to go back to school, and that's what he says. So I don't think anything's going to change there, but we're looking forward to seeing him next week.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.